I have 422 friends, yet I'm lonely. I speak to all of them every day, yet none of them really know me.
Gary Turk's video, Look Up, went viral after it was released on YouTube exactly 3 months ago. In just 3 months, the video already has 45 million views on YouTube. The video is meant to show how important face-to-face interactions are in a world where we now connect mostly through technology. As Turk says, we're a generation of idiots, smartphones, and dumb people. The video shows that although our online generation makes it easier for people to connect, it more often than not results in people spending more time alone and being unable to communicate. The main purpose of the video is to get viewers to look up, because when you're too busy looking down, you don't see the chances you miss. So many people, including children, have smartphones these days. They have become more popular and their uses have expanded greatly. A smartphone is a mobile phone with more advanced computing capability and connectivity than basic feature phones. It's no longer just a communication device you use to call or text friends. You can use it for taking pictures, listening to music, getting directions, accessing social media, playing games, or for entertainment purposes, just to name a few. Although smartphones have proven to be very useful, they have also had a negative effect on society, especially young adults. Smartphone technologies have become detrimental to society's communication skills, behaviors, and interactions. Sherry Turkle said in her article, The Flight from Conversation, the little devices most of us carry around are so powerful that they change not only what we do, but also who we are. Smartphones have affected our communication skills greatly. One way is they make it possible for us to be alone together. We are able to sit in a room with a group of friends but be in a completely different place through our smartphones. A group of friends can go to the bar together and still be on their phones communicating with the outside world through social media or texting or entertaining themselves with games available on their phones, but be sitting in complete silence with no face-to-face interactions. What's the point in hanging out with your friends if you're just going to sit in silence and ignore each other? Smartphones also have affected our communication skills in the way that people rely on them so much they no longer know how to communicate with other people. With smartphones, people are able to send a text, a tweet, or a message in just a few seconds. They can use technology to connect with other people, and because of this, they have lost the ability to interact face-to-face. Smartphones have altered the ways we communicate and how we are able to present ourselves. They allow for us to control our interactions and present ourselves the way we want to be seen. We are able to edit and delete and hide behind our devices. This, according to Turkle, is the Goldilocks effect. While this is beneficial, it is also harmful to our communication skills. We might say things we wouldn't normally say in person. When faced with face-to-face interactions, people are hesitant to say things because the opportunity to alter what they say or what they are about to say has been taken away from them. When speaking face-to-face, people are unable to delete a sentence and rephrase it before sending it into the real world. They are forced to endure whatever consequences may occur from whatever they say. Because we rely so heavily on hiding behind our smartphones to communicate with people, our communication skills are severely lacking. Smartphones have also affected society's behaviors negatively. Smartphones have changed people's expectancies. We live in a very fast-paced world now where people expect immediacy. Smartphones give people the ability to have things available right at their fingertips. If they don't know the answer to something, they can search for it. If they are running late, they can send a text. If they are bored, they can listen to some music. If they don't know the name of a song, they can Shazam it. Everything is available in one device, and people have started to rely too much on their smartphones. Because of this, people have become impatient with reality. Another way smartphones have affected society's behaviors negatively is with education. The article Cell Phones May Bring Negative Effects references a study done by Kent State University that says daily cell phone use negatively affected college students' GPAs. Smartphones have become a major distraction in classrooms because students have trouble putting away their phones and paying attention to the lecture. They are constantly on their phones, texting, checking social media, or playing games during their classes. According to the effect of smartphones on social interactions, students have trouble concentrating because smartphones are addictive devices. Also, according to Andrew Lepp, one of the researchers who did the study at Kent State University, cell phone users feel a need to be constantly connected with their social media outlets. They have an obligation to check Facebook updates, etc. People, especially young adults, depend on their phones like a human depends on air. Smartphones have also caused people to get distracted more easily. An assignment that should take an hour might end up taking 3 hours because of everything that has been made available on a smartphone. For example, a student who might be working on an assignment might decide to check his Facebook for a minute. This could lead to the student checking his Twitter, his Instagram, his texts, his emails, his clan on Clash of Clans, his YouTube subscriptions, Eventually, a 2-minute Facebook break has turned into a 2-hour smartphone break. He might have discovered an awesome new song on YouTube, but his work isn't done and he wasted so much time. Distracted walking has also become a problem. People get so wrapped up in paying attention to their phones while walking, they become a danger and annoyance to the people that surround them. According to the article, Smartphones Are Killing Us and Destroying Public Life by Henry Graeber, many phone-in-hand pedestrians have veered into traffic and more than a dozen people fall off railway platforms while looking at their phones each year in Japan. Not only have smartphones caused people to behave dangerously, they have also had a negative effect on society's social interactions. While walking his dog the other day, a friend of mine had an hour-long conversation with a lady who was walking her dog. I normally would have walked right by her. I never would have talked to her if I had my phone, but I had forgotten it at home, he said. Interactions like this are rare these days. More often than not, when having a conversation with somebody, a person will interrupt to say, "Hold on a second," or "I'm still listening," as he or she checks his or her phone. A text, a missed call, or a notification has become more important than having an uninterrupted face-to-face conversation. Graeber uses the example of a murder on a San Francisco train on September 23, 2013. He uses a quote from Vivian Ho's article about the incident. He raises the gun, pointing it across the aisle, before tucking it back against his side. He draws it out several more times, once using the hand holding the gun to wipe his nose. Dozens of passengers stand and sit just feet away, but none react. Their eyes, focused on smartphones and tablets, don't lift until the gunman fires a bullet into the back of a San Francisco State student getting off the train. People have become so oblivious to what's going on around them because they have become so engrossed in their smartphones. Although we should not just abandon smartphones, we should not depend on them so heavily. They are useful when used properly, but when their uses are abused, they become harmful to society. The problem is many people have started to rely on them too much. Instead of being beneficial, they become detrimental. Graeber suggests the phone stack game, which is a game that takes place in a social gathering where players compete to see who can go the longest without their device. It forces people to interact with each other instead of their phones. Some restaurants have also banned smartphones and computers. The UNICEF TAP project was also a way to motivate people to put down their phones. It might be difficult to self-impose personal limitations, however, it is one way to start relying less on smartphones. It's ultimately up to the person whose smartphone it is to control how much they use it. We need to rely less on using our smartphones to connect and more on using face-to-face interactions to communicate. Turkle suggests we look up, look at one another, and let's start the conversation. Similar, in this video, Turk suggests we look up from our phones and live life the real way.